She vanished from the biggest stage in tennis for 4 long years. Then, out of nowhere, Serena Williams stepped back onto the court and the tennis world stopped breathing. But it's not just her comeback that's making headlines, it's what's happening around her. A rising Filipina superstar, a world number 4, and a partnership nobody saw coming. 2 generations of tennis are colliding at the same tournament, on the same courts, at the same time. And now, everyone wants to know one thing. What does Serena Williams really think about it? 4 years after retiring at the 2022 US Open, Serena Williams shocked the tennis world by returning to competition in June 2026. At 44 years old, the 23-time Grand Slam champion didn't ease back in quietly. She jumped straight into grass court season, starting at Queen's Club before heading to Wimbledon. But the comeback hasn't been a fairy tale. Williams lost to Maya Joint in the Wimbledon singles draw, then suffered a knee injury during that defeat, forcing her to withdraw from a highly anticipated doubles reunion with her sister Venus. That reunion had been billed as one of the most emotional storylines of the entire tournament, and its cancellation left fans devastated. Serena didn't stop there. She pushed through the pain, kept training, and set her sights on Cincinnati, where she and Venus finally shared a doubles court together for the first time since 2022. The result wasn't a fairy tale either. They fell in a tight 3-set battle to Marta Kostyuk and Peyton Stearns, but the loss barely mattered. What mattered was that Serena Williams was back on court, competing, still chasing moments most athletes her age wouldn't dare attempt. Throughout her comeback, she's rotated through partners, Victoria Mboko at Queen's, Karolina Muchova in Berlin, and finally her own sister in Cincinnati. Every appearance has drawn massive attention, not just because of who she is, but because of what she represents. A legend refusing to let a 4-year absence be the final chapter. And just as fans were still processing her Cincinnati defeat, the biggest twist of her comeback arrived. A wild card announcement that would send the tennis world into a frenzy days before the 2026 US Open. Serena wasn't just returning to Flushing Meadows, she was returning with a partner nobody expected, in a format designed to draw the biggest stars in the sport into one electric event. And the timing could not have been more dramatic. While Serena was fighting through her comeback, Venus Williams was busy creating a viral moment of her own, one that would unexpectedly tie a rising Filipina star into the Williams family narrative. Following a first-round doubles exit at the Canadian Open in Toronto, where Venus and her partner Alex Eala fell to Ludmila Samsonova and Miyu Kato, the pair sat down for a press conference that turned into something far more memorable than the match itself. A reporter asked Venus about her upcoming doubles reunion with Serena. Instead of answering directly, Venus turned to her 21-year-old partner and said, "I think Alex has got to put on her list to play with Serena one day." Eala's reaction was instant. "Oh my God!" Venus, laughing, delivered the line that would spread across tennis media within hours. "Then she can complete the Williams sisters." The moment captured something genuine, a legend publicly vouching for a young player she clearly respected. Venus didn't stop at the joke either. She praised Eala directly, calling her an incredible person, well-spoken, and said the two of them lift each other up on court. For Eala, sharing a court with Venus Williams had already been a career milestone, and the exchange only deepened the significance of the moment. She responded with visible admiration of her own, saying, "The things that the Williams sisters have done for tennis is incredible. They just keep doing it and keep helping us, especially the women in sports." Eala also revealed she had watched Serena's Wimbledon return from the stands as a fan, long before ever imagining she'd be standing next to Venus in a press conference being teased about joining the Williams doubles legacy herself. Venus and Eala's partnership hadn't started in Toronto either. They'd first played together back in June at the Bad Homburg Open, winning a match before falling in the quarterfinals. By the time the "Complete the Williams sisters" line went viral, tennis fans everywhere were already asking the same question. Would this half-joking prediction somehow become real? The Venus-Eala partnership looked like it was building towards something bigger until it abruptly changed course. After Toronto, Venus and Eala were confirmed to play doubles together again at the Washington Open. Fans expected the momentum to continue. Instead, those plans fell apart when it was revealed that Venus would partner with Diana Schneider instead, leaving Eala without her recent doubles partner. Tennis media described the shift as a genuine shock, given how warmly the two had spoken about each other just days earlier. But instead of being sidelined, Eala's team moved quickly. Around the same time, the preliminary entry list for the newly revamped 2026 US Open mixed doubles event was released, and Eala's name appeared alongside a partner nobody had paired her with before, Felix Auger-Aliassime, the world number 4 from Canada. The partnership, according to Eala, came about a bit by chance. The two players share the same management agency, and their respective teams arranged the pairing after the Washington shakeup. Auger-Aliassime confirmed the same story, explaining that, "The people in our teams talked and made that happen." For Eala, it was framed as an opportunity rather than a fallback. "I can learn a tremendous amount by playing alongside him," she said, adding that the US Open's mixed doubles format, now revamped with more singles stars competing for a $1 million prize, made the moment even more exciting. It would also mark her first ever Grand Slam mixed doubles appearance. Auger-Aliassime, for his part, seemed just as intrigued by what he was walking into. He acknowledged Eala's massive fanbase directly, joking that despite being the more experienced player, he expected to be the one riding her popularity into Flushing Meadows. What started as a scheduling disruption had turned into one of the most talked about new pairings of the tournament, proof that in tennis, plans can collapse and rebuild into something even bigger within days. By the time the 2026 US Open mixed doubles field was finalized, Alex Eala wasn't just another entrant, she had become one of the central storylines of the entire event. Speaking to Tennis Channel ahead of the tournament, Auger-Aliassime admitted just how aware he was of what he was stepping into. "It's going to be funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like I'm the one that's like, you know, she has the fan base, right? Like she's carrying the crowd, so it's going to be interesting," he said. He wasn't exaggerating. Eala's 2026 season has been a genuine breakout. She won her first career WTA singles title in Washington, defeating Zheng Qinwen, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Leylah Fernandez en route to a comeback final win over Jessica Pegula. That run pushed her into the top 20 for the first time in her career, continuing a rise that first caught global attention during her 2025 Miami Open semi-final run. Wherever Eala plays, Filipino fans show up in force, a phenomenon tennis media has started calling the Eala effect. Her matches in Australia, the Middle East, and Europe have consistently drawn outsized crowds relative to her ranking, and her partnership with a top 4 men's player only amplified the attention heading into New York. Eala and Auger-Aliassime are scheduled to make their debut together on August 25th at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center, entering a mixed doubles field that reads like a greatest hits list of modern tennis. Novak Djokovic and Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek and Casper Ruud, Elena Rybakina and Taylor Fritz, and, of course, Serena Williams and Carlos Alcaraz. For Eala, it's uncharted territory. Her first Grand Slam mixed doubles appearance played out under a spotlight built partly on her own rise and partly on the storylines swirling around the Williams sisters that had, weeks earlier, briefly included her own name. Then came the moment that tied everything together. On August 22, 2026, the USTA confirmed what tennis fans had been speculating about for weeks. Serena Williams and Carlos Alcaraz would team up for the US Open mixed doubles, receiving a last-minute wildcard into the main draw. It marked Serena's first US Open appearance since 2022 and reunited tennis royalty with the sport's reigning men's singles champion. Alcaraz, who himself was returning from a 4-month wrist injury layoff, had sparked speculation weeks earlier when Serena responded to his comeback announcement with a simple message: "I like seeing this." That online exchange turned into one of the most anticipated pairings in the tournament's history. Suddenly, two separate storylines, Serena's dramatic comeback and the Eala-driven mixed doubles buzz, were unfolding on the very same stage, in the very same week. Serena, at 44, chasing history one more time. Eala, at 21, chasing her first Grand Slam mixed doubles moment, in a field that included the very sister who joked about her completing the Williams sisters just weeks before. Williams' mixed doubles history in New York goes back to 1998, when she won the title alongside Max Mirny, before capturing the first of her 6 US Open singles crowns. Now, nearly 3 decades later, she was walking back into that same event, in a completely different tennis landscape, with a completely different generation of stars around her, including one whose name had briefly, jokingly, been floated as a future Williams doubles partner herself. Whether Eala ever actually shares a court with Serena remains to be seen, but for 1 week in Flushing Meadows, their stories ran parallel, a legend refusing to fade and a rising star from the Philippines proving she belonged in the same conversation as the greatest sisters the sport has ever seen. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.